So hello guys, and welcome to this brand new video in which I'm going to talk about the Armed Dragon Thunder deck incorporating the 10k Dragon. Yeah, you heard that right, and it actually helps the deck. If you just want to hard special summon the 10k Dragon in a going second variant, obviously, then the Crusader build would be the best option because you would special summon the Beat Cop and the Heretic Seal with ease. Then the Beat Cop would tribute the Heretic Seal, which then triggers and special summons the Omni Dragon Brotar, which searches you the 10k Dragon. Then you just need 2 level 4s, go into Utopia Double, then go into Leo Utopia Ray, and equip it with a ZW monster from your extra deck, and it has 8,000 attack and 2,000 defense. So in total it's 10,000 attack and defense, which is all good to go for your 10k Dragon because it needs attack and defense. It doesn't need to be original attack and defense, obviously, to be special summoned, and then it's more viable. But the Crusader deck on its own just gets very worse because it's a good going second deck, and yeah, the 10k Dragon just makes it worse. In Armed Dragon Thunder, though, it makes it a bit better, or a bit. It does depend how you want to see it. If you want to be it a competitive deck, then you'll just play some hand traps and stuff like that. Make it a good going second deck with board breaking cards as well. But if you just want to play it as pure as possible and incorporating it in 10k Dragon, then this deck is actually successful in what it does. So without further ado, let's just hop into the deck, and it works on its own. You don't need to go into your 10k Dragon all the time, but it comes up very many times, which is so nice. So the first card we're playing is a one-off Armed Dragon Thunder level 10. This card is good, but not nice, so you don't want to hard draw it. You want to maybe search it or special summon it via the level 7, and just is there to be your target for your Pile Armed Dragon to get into your graveyard to push himself, so the Pile Armed Dragon or another monster for 3,000 attack points. And since it has in total 5,000 attack and defense, it is enough to be half of the tribute fodder for your 10k Dragon. So everything in this deck wants to achieve the 5,000 attack point mark. So in total, they combine with 2 monsters to 10k, which is what the 10k Dragon wants and needs. So you just need 2 monsters in this deck in particular to go into your 10k Dragon, which is amazing, and it works most of the times, let's say it like that. And can also be a target for your next card, which is the Armed Dragon level 10 white, which is able to special summon itself by just banishing Armed Dragon Thunder or Armed Dragon monsters from your grave, which has the total level of 10. So either one level 10, this one, or just 2 level 5s. Because we don't play the level 3, so level 3 plus 7 doesn't make any sense, and it also has 5,000 attack and defense points, so it's a good extender, but we just don't want to hard draw it. And the same goes for the Dragunity Armed Graham, which has 5,100 attack points, so it's also a viable target for your 10k, as I said, and it can special summon itself by just banishing 2 dragon monsters from your graveyard, and it's searchable because it's a Wind Dragon monster via the Armed Dragon Thunder level 5 if it gets discarded, so just a one-off, so it's good to go. For the last level 10 monsters, we're playing 3 Red MD, because this card can be special summoned, or first off, searched via the Omni Dragon Brotar, then can tribute the Omni Dragon Brotar and banish it, obviously not tribute it, to then be able to special summon itself and a dragon monster either from your graveyard or hand with a hard once per turn. Remind that this card is an old version, so it does have that hard once per turn, otherwise we wouldn't be able to play this card as a 3-off and would be banned. Yeah, so it's very, very good, and you just want to hard draw it, so yeah, as I said, it's searchable by the Omni Dragon Brotar if you don't want to, or don't need to search for your 10k Dragon, because otherwise Omni Dragon Brotar searches you the 10k Dragon, obviously. So yeah, this is just a very, very good card, and can make up with another card for your 10k tribute fodder. So yeah, just play it as a 3-off, and the next card is the card which makes this deck so viable, and the 10k Dragon strategy, and it's the best Armed Dragon monster, period. It's a Pile Armed Dragon that can special summon itself by just discarding 1 Wind Dragon monster or level 7 or higher Dragon monster, so everything in this deck basically, and then it can push any card, either itself or something else, for your Armed Dragon monster that you build from your deck, which is the level 10, and then it has 3,000 attack points more, and since 10k Dragon doesn't need specifically original attack and defense, the push does work on the monster that you targeted. So this card has basically 3,800 attack and defense, but with its own push effect ability, it can be 6,800. So everything else which has either 3,200 or more attack points is enough to be together for your for the tribute of your Armed Dragon, for your 10k Dragon. Sorry for that. So yeah, this is just a very, very good card. It triggers all your Armed Dragon Thunder monsters when discarded because it's a dragon monster. It's so good. It's searchable via the Armed Dragon Thunder level 7 that we're playing as a 2-off. You don't need more than that because it may be a brick in your hand. You don't want to draw into multiple. Sometimes you don't even want to have this card, and it's searchable. So just play it as a 2-off. Even considered playing it as a 1-off because it would be searchable via the Armed Dragon Thunder level 5, but I like it as a 2-off as of right now, and it can search you if it got discarded by a dragon card's effect, a Armed Dragon card. We're only playing monsters, but in theory that's possible, and it will search you the either Pile Armed Dragon or the Armed Dragon level 10 whites if you want to special summon itself, or the Armed Dragon Thunder level 5, which is even better. Unfortunately, this card didn't get a rarity upgrade. This card as a secret rare would have been nice. It's a better version of the Armed Dragon Thunder level 7, because this card has only 3,800 attack, so it doesn't have that 5,000 attack and defense threshold that we need. This card gets to 4,100, so it's close enough, and it's even a bit better. And if it got discarded for the effect of a dragon monster, then it can search a level 5 or higher Wind Dragon monster, which is better in this deck because it can search Tempest. And Tempest has the effect, if it discards a Wind dragon's monster in itself, it can search any dragon monster. So it can search your 10k dragon directly, which is insane. So just consider that to be your way to go for your 10k dragon as well. Yeah, it's just an awesome card. You want to hard draw that card. We're playing Noru as a one-off. Unfortunately, it's a common. It doesn't have a higher rarity. Let's see when it gets one rarity upgrade. You don't want to hard draw it. If you hard draw it, then it's okay. You want to either discard it for the effect of Omni Dragon Brotar or something that has a discard effect which doesn't trigger for something else. It's very unfortunate, but it is the way to go. Either that or mill it with the Dragon Shrine or Foolish Burial, and then it can special summon itself by discarding a Dragon monster, which also triggers the Armed Dragon Thunder effect monsters, which is quite nice. And it's a beat stick of 4,500 attack and defense in total. It doesn't have the 5,000, but it's close enough. Everything with the Pile Armed Dragon, though, will make the 10k or more attack and defense for your 10k Dragon. So this is just a good card. Consider it as a important one-off, and it can come up sometimes. Then the Tempest, if we would be able to play it as a 3-off, then we would do that, but it's actually not the case as of right now. As I mentioned, it searches you the 10k Dragon, and if it got discarded, then you can even special summon him by banishing 2 wind or dragon monsters from your hand or graveyard, and then also has 4,600. It's a level 7, so it gets you into your rank 7 options that you have in this deck. Just a nice card, just play it, obviously. And a one-off Omni Dragon Brotar. If this card would trigger on normal summon as well and search a 10k Dragon, which in my opinion wouldn't be that crazily broken, this card would be a definite 3-off, but as it just triggers on special summon, you don't want to hard draw it, obviously. You could even consider playing one Saryuja to special summon him hard, but that's more in Crusadia builds. I would just play this as a one-off, either milling it with Dragon Shrine, reborning it with the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, or some shenanigans like that. But yeah, it's just a good card overall. Played as a one-off. Now the spice of the deck is the Windwitch engine. This card is a negate bait, basically, because if they don't, then they think about the Crystal Wing, which can beat over everything, has a built-in monster effect, negation, and destruction, gets huge, and isn't being able to be destroyed. So yeah, it's kind of a card that is a pain in the ass. So they might think, okay, we need to negate it, and then you just baited it, and it doesn't consume your normal summon. Even the downside of this card doesn't lock you into something that you need, so it locks you into level 5 or higher Wind Dragon monsters from your extra deck, which isn't the problem because the 10k Dragon can still be special summoned, and you don't really need your extra deck that many times. So it's actually quite okay to activate. So yeah, that's for the Windwitch engine. Sometimes it wins you games in time because it makes those 500 random burn damage and also chain block. So keep that in mind that you can chain block with it. One Glass Bell and one Snow Bell. If you special summon this card, you might not want to trigger its second effect, because the second effect would obviously search your Snow Bell, but then it locks you into only be able to special summon wind monsters. So if you're not going for the Armed Dragon Thunder OTK, maybe with your Crystal Wing and stuff like that, and want to be able to special summon the 10k, then this doesn't work. So you really have to keep that in mind just to not trigger this effect. Then you might say, why are you playing the Windwitch engine if it conflicts with the 10k? Because if you stop at this point and only have these 2 cards on board, you're still able to special summon the 10k Dragon and get into a level 7 Synchro. And there are several level 7 Wind Synchro monsters that can help you a lot. So keep that in mind, that if you want to be able to special summon 10k, just leave it at these 2 copies, go into your Synchro place, and you're good to go. And if you hard draw this card, it's not a big deal, because then you can special summon the Crystal Wing. Anyway, don't be at the downside of the Glass Bell. And this is just an extender overall if you have 2 or more wind monsters on board, which comes up. So this isn't a brick. The only brick in this Windwitch engine would be the Glass Bell, obviously, which would be unfortunate. You could even play something like if you have the Ice Bell and this one in your hand, then you might consider playing the Snow Bell. So you get into a level 4 sync. I know you can't special summon level 4 or lower Wind Synchro monsters. Never mind. So yeah, this is your brick in your deck. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's still such a good engine and negate bait, as I said, that you just want to play it. Just keep that in mind with the 10k. Your only normal summon in this deck is I guess it's Prime Dragon, the Primordial or so. Such a nice artwork. Look at that. Like those effects on its wings, like a void, vortex, whatever. It's also resembled in the 10k Dragon's artwork in its breath. So you will see that later. This card is so good because it can boost itself by a lot of attack and defense points by banishing a dragon monster from your graveyard. If you happen to mill the Armed Dragon Thunder level 10 with the Pile Armed Dragon, then it has 3,000 attack points. You can mill it, you can banish it from your grave with this card, and then this card gets the attack and defense value of that attack point. So that card has 3,000 attack, so this card gets 3,000 attack and defense, so it has 5,000 and 5,000. So it's this card on its own that will have enough to be able to tribute the 10k Dragon. This card on its own, it has 10,000 attack and defense in total. This is very, very nice. And also has an effect, if it got tributed, then you can target a monster on field and it can attack twice. So that would be your 10k Dragon. And if your 10k Dragon can attack twice, that's totally fine. And if you activate the effect of a Pile Armed Dragon, then you can attack with only 1 card anyway. So because of the downside of the Pile Armed Dragon. But then you can attack with the 10k dragon twice. So yeah, that's totally nice, and it will help you to win the game. Pylon Dragon can also boost the 10k Dragon with those 3000 attack points, so your Armed Dragon, your 10k Dragon might be able to attack with 2 times 13k even, so that's quite funny. And even if it's only a normal summon, it has 4000 attack and defense in total, so combined with the Pylon Dragon with its own boost effect, will be enough to, for your 10k Dragon. And it got tributed anyway, so the tribute effect will work anyway on the 10k Dragon. So it's just such a nice card. Just play it as a 3-off. It's your only normal summon, and it will. And it looks so phenomenal. It works with your cards. Now this is a card that is quite funny, and it looks kind of similar to the to this card actually. And it's so old. It's from the Duelist Genesis, and the boost effect of this card is quite funny as well, because you can just discard 3 dragons from your grave, from your hand to the grave, and then it gets attack of the combined levels of the monsters times 300. So if you have, for example, a level 10, or let's even say 3 level 10s, every single card will boost this card by 3000 attack. So in total, it's 9000 attack. So this card even gets close enough to the 10k Dragon with 9000 instead of 10,000 attack points, which is quite funny. You don't want to hard draw this card. This is just a card for your for being a target for your small world, which is a card that searches you your 10k Dragon directly from your deck. So this is a card that you just don't want to hard draw. It happens sometimes, and it can be special summoned, and it can get you some dragons in your graveyard, which can be okay. Can have some attack points over 5000 and then be tribute fodder for your 10k. But it's mainly just there for, small world, because it's Earth, level 8, so the only thing, and attack and defense values are random, so it's only because of the dragon archetype or type that it works with small world. And speaking of the devil, there it is, the 10,000 dragon. This is the card everyone's talking about, and this is the card that makes this deck a bit cooler and consistent. There you can see the watermark. It's just such an awesome card. It looks amazing if you ask me. I'm playing it, and I'm not going to grade it, although it has a very nice condition, centering and everything, but I just want to be able to play it, and it's such a nice card, and as it's double-sleeved, I don't think it will lose value. It's every time I special summon this card or search this card, just getting those good vibes from your opponent and or friends, just they admiring this card is more than enough to consider it. It's more important for me to get those reactions instead of getting some 1,000 euros or dollars via grading this card, if that makes any sense. And it's still a card which won't lose value. Since I bought it, it just got up. So for me, it's making me money passively and getting cool reactions and making me able to play a deck which I desire. And obviously, owning the card that I always wanted to own since it got released. So it's just beneficial for me in general to have this card and being able to play it. But without anything else, you already see the attack points and the effect, and obviously the deck evolves around this. So just gonna continue, not gonna talk about anything else. Let's go into our spells. So the first spell is the Pot of Extravagance. We don't need the extra deck, as I said, so this is just a +1, and as we're not drawing anything else, we're not playing the Armed Dragon Thunder level 3, it's just a consistency card, and helps us to have 7 cards in hand instead of 6 while going second. Next off is the small world. As I said, you can banish anything in your hand, and then your how is it called again? Montage Dragon, sorry, and then special or search the 10k Dragon. So this is just the 10k Dragon basically by going -1. Just play it. It's a no-brainer. It makes your 10k Dragon searchable. Also, your Windwitch engine, which is quite nice, because the only thing that then has the same attack and defense and everything will be the wind attribute. So you can actually just go for the Windwitch Ice Bell instead of something else. So just a way to get to your bait or good card if you know that you're going to get into your 10k Dragon anyway. Next off, another card that gets you into your 10k Dragon directly is Draconnection. You just reveal a level 10, then discard it, and then you get your monster, your dragon monster, with the same level of the discarded card. So if you have a level 10 in your hand, you have 6 of those, and they are also searchable, then you can search directly into your 10k Dragon. So this is a 10k Dragon with a -1, so you don't need to play 10k Dragon as a 3-off, and it doesn't make the 10k Dragon as bricky as it is, because you can also search this card. You can search Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon or anything of those kinds of things. Also, you can just switch a level 7 monster that you don't need in your hand. For example, the Noru, then it's in your graveyard, which is nice because you need it in your graveyard, and then search for any dragon monster which is level 7, so Tempest, and Tempest, discarding Tempest with another card, gets into your 10k. So basically, this card is just your 10k, or anything that you want it to be. It's just such a powerful spell in this deck. And also a one-off 1-for-1. It special summons the Omni Dragon Brotar, and Omni Dragon Brotar then searches you 10k. Obviously, it's a -2 in total for getting to into your 10k, so it might not be the best, but you can obviously also go into your Red Ice Darkness Battle Dragon with the Omni Dragon Brotar. So yeah, it's kind of neat. Because it goes -2 in total, because Omni Dragon Brotar has to discard and 1-for-1 has to discard. Yeah, it's kind of but it's okay. It's what it is. We're playing 1 Dragon Shrine. I would want to play this as a 3-off, but it's a 40-card deck list, and I didn't know what to cut. As I said, maybe the Armed Dragon Thunder level 7 would be an option to play it as a 1-off, and play maybe 2 Dragon Shrines because it has a hard ones per turn anyway. It's just there to be a mill target for your Noru or your Brotar. If you know that you can special summon the Brotar, then it's mainly for Brotar. If not, then it's for Noru, then that can special summon itself very easily to discard any Armed Dragon monster and then trigger those effects. Or yeah, something like the 3000 attack monster to be able to be banished for the Prime Dragon, the Primordial, for the attack boost. So yeah, it's just a versatile card, and that's why we're also playing the Foolish Burial, because it's just a better version, or in general, it doesn't conflict with anything. It doesn't have a hard ones per turn. And the last card is the Monster Reborn. It's just, you can, if you're going second, maybe target a card from your opponent, which has a graveyard, which has a on-field effect, which helps you also for random attack and defense things. And yeah, the other 41st card would be Change of Heart, because it's, as I said, a going second build, and yeah, Change of Heart is just so broken. So yeah, you might even consider playing Change of Heart instead of the Armed Dragon Thunder level 7 as a 2-off. I didn't want to make it though into this deck, because some decks don't get from your opponent into a monster, or the monster doesn't fulfill the conditions with having enough attack and defense. But it would be a very good card to consider. So yeah, but Monster Reborn is a no-brainer. Let's go into our extra deck options. As I said, Pot of Extravagance is there. Think about the ratios. Crystal Wing could be played as a 2 or 3-off if you really think that you're not going into your 10k Dragon that many times. The Clear Wing is the card that you want to go into with the effect of the Windwitch engine, because it can help your 10k Dragon, because if 10k Dragon would be targeted for a monster effect, then this card can negate that and get the attack and defense of that, the original attack of the monster that it negated. So you might consider playing this as a 2 or 3-off. It depends on how valuable you see that effect. This card as well, you could play it as a 2 or 3-off, because it can reduce and first of all negate a monster effect actively, and then also downgrade its attack value to 0. So your 10k Dragon is able to OTK over that monster that has now 0 attack points, which is quite nice. So that in general is quite good. Also, these two in total have 4,500 attack points. So with the Pylon Dragon or whatever, it may be enough for your 10k Dragon. Another good card is the Wind Pegasus at Ignister. Having 3,800 is enough with your 6,800 from the Pylon Dragon as well. And if this card is in your graveyard, then you can use it, or on board first of all, then you can use it to destroy a spell or trap. And then if it's in your graveyard, you can even banish or shuffle back, a monster from your opponent. So it's a double disruption. And if it got tributed for the 10k Dragon, then it's in your graveyard to trigger that second effect that I just said. So maybe you want to play 2 or 3 of those. Also, for your rank 7s, the Rebellion package, you go into this one with 2 dragon monsters, then overlay on this one. And this one can attack 3 times with 3,000, so making it 9,000. And if you removed everything beforehand or reduced a monster with this card to 0, then this card attacking 3 times. Also having it being boosted by the Pylon Dragon maybe, so it has 6,000, then it can attack 3 times with 6,000, so that might be a good option as well. Yeah, maybe play 2 or 3 of each if you consider the OTK potential of that to be important for you. Big Eye can be a good option to just get rid of your opponent's monster and then tribute that monster, and the Big Eye, for example, for your 10k or something can come up very handy. Red Ice Darkness Metal Dragon for game, it has 5,200 attack and defense in total, so that might come up. Yeah, and just the burn damage for time might be as well important. And this card is a very nice card as well, because it can destroy a monster, and then one face-up monster on your side of the field gets attack points equal to the level or rank of the destroyed monster times 300. So it can boost your monsters or this card to get to over 10k, or get to boost your 10k on board for more OTK potential. So this might be also a good card that you might consider. So this is basically everything. I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. It got a bit long, but it's very important to talk about everything, in my opinion. And yeah, I think I covered everything, which was important. Just gonna end it with the image of the 10,000 dragon, having it once more on screen there, so you can see the artwork and just yeah, be amazed by it. I'm totally amazed. So yeah, that's all. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, leave a like and consider subscribing. Bye bye.